Welcome back to our mini-series taking a look at every single athlete that's going to be competing at the World's Strongest Man this year. We're going to be looking at their story so far, how we think they'll do in the events, and how we rate their overall chances. And in this episode, representing Finland, we're taking a look at the Finnish champion from 2021, Mika Trr.
So this is going to be Mika's first time competing at the World's Strongest Man. And while he may be a new name to World's Strongest Man fans, he's actually quite an experienced athlete and has been competing solidly since 2017. He's a regular at the Strongman Champions League and has done a total of 28 international competitions so far, winning one of them, the Amateur Strongman Showdown, back in 2021.
He's actually been steadily improving as well. I think the fact that he's done so many competitions is going to stand him well.
Yeah.
And he's one of those athletes that's very good at events. Maybe lacks a little bit of top-end strength stepping up to this level, but he's actually got victories over a number of World's Strongest Man athletes in the past. He's not a guy to sleep on, that's for sure.
And just like Ivers, who we looked at yesterday, who also does a lot of Strongman Champions League competitions, getting used to travelling to different places, competing on different kit all of the time, it really helps for a competition like the World's Strongest Man when you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, things can change last minute. You know, we'll see the announcements of the events, or we've seen the announcements, we'll see the announcements of the groups, and things do change last minute at World. So if you can cope with that well, it does help. That being said, it is his first World's Strongest Man, so it's very different to any other show that you do. I say that all the time, but it's so important because it really is. You can go to all these one-day shows, but they don't necessarily prepare you properly for the way World's Strongest Man is run. That being said, should we take a look at his events and see how we think he can do based on overall performances that he's done in other competitions? So we're not guessing when it comes to how we think people can do.
No.
We're putting research in.
We're analysing. We're basically scientists.
We are basically strongman scientists. We delve deep into the history of these athletes. We try and find as many competitions as possible that they've competed in, take a look at their actual results. So we will look at training videos and stuff like that, but experience has always told me as a competitor to go on how people perform in competition, not what they do in the gym. I've competed against many people that have done some incredible things in the gym but not backed it up in a competition. So I always, when I do these videos, it is just delving into the data that's in front of us and bringing it to you so you guys have a good idea of what to expect with these athletes.
Event number one then, it's quite a traditional way to open the groups at World's Strongest Man. They're going to be doing a loading race.
Yeah, and he's done a fair amount of loading events in competition before. He'll be used to different implements. He's not too bad when it comes to loading. I think it'll come down to nerves. I think he'll cope well with the nerves. Who you're up against, there are some exceptionally fast athletes at World's Strongest Man. But looking through his results, he's decent at loading. I don't expect him to go in and win this type of event, but I also don't expect him to come last either. I think he can pick up a few points, which, as I say all the time, can settle you moving on to the more standard type strongman events. The thing with loading, you can have someone great in your group, but they can mess up.
Yeah.
I've been in that situation before against the best in the world where pressure gets to them and they make mistake. I've been in the position where I'm then one of the seeds and I'm expected to do well and I've messed up. It's one of those events, you look at the history and people are all over the place when it comes to loading. So
look at 2010, Brian Shaw didn't win the World's Strongest Man title because his sack fell off a platform in the loading race.
Small things like that matter. So it's making sure you focus on your lane, put in a good performance. If Mika can do that, I think he can get some steady points to start the competition.
So you touched upon the fact that the static events might not be the best for Mika. So how do you think he's going to do in the deadlift ladder?
I think the deadlift is going to be an event that he will struggle on. Okay. His max deadlift is no way near the standard of a lot of the guys at World's Strongest Man. I mean, when we're talking World's Strongest Man, if you're a 360 deadlifter, that's classed as a poor deadlift. It's an amazing deadlift, let's get that clear, but we are talking about going up against the best in the world. And Mika's history on a deadlift event is not so good. If he's in a stacked group with the likes of Mark Felix, Adam Bishop, Mitchell Hooper, you know, countless others that we could rattle off, he's going to struggle. So I think this is an important factor for him, is to not waste too much energy on this event. Save it for the events he's good at, because there's a couple of events coming up which he's actually very good at.
Okay, and next up then we have the car walk.
Yeah, I think this will be a new event for him. I can't find any history on him doing a car walk. There is a little bit of information on yokes, which is a very similar event. And he's had up and down performances on this. He's actually very good when it comes to a yoke for distance, where it's not about speed, it's just about carrying it as far as possible. That tends to suit him more. When it comes to more of the fast foot and the speed, he struggles a bit more. I think it'll be a challenge for him. Hopefully he can finish the car walk. The car walk is a little bit more tricky than a yoke, because a yoke rocks side to side. The car rocks forwards and backwards as well. A lot more demanding on your core strength, so the yoke may be a struggle.
Next, we have a wrecking ball hold, and for anyone who missed the initial announcement on that, the idea is that the athletes will be on a raised platform with this wrecking ball hold dangling beneath them.
Dangling between their legs.
Yes, and they'll be holding onto it with some sort of contraption. It's a test of grip.
Okay, grip strength. We're not sure if it's side handles or it's out in front yet.
No.
But basically a grip test. And when it comes to Mika, looking at his history, I can find 5 times he's done a Hercules hold, and the worst he's ever placed is 4th, winning the event on a number of occasions. So he has great grip strength, could be a really good event for him, and a chance to pick up some points from those weaker events that we just talked about.
Next is the log lift for reps, around about 150 kilos.
Yeah, 150 kilo log. This is going to be a struggle for him. We talked about the lack of brute power, the gym strength. Unfortunately, log lifting, deadlifting, when we're talking about World's Strongest Man level, not quite as good as it needs to be. So I think this could be a struggle for him. Obviously, we've mentioned the loading's not too bad, his grip is exceptional. Actually, weirdly, he's very, very good at truck pulling as well. Unfortunately, the truck pull is in the final, not in the heats. I'm sure he would have loved to have had a truck pull in the heats. That would have given him a better chance, I think. But log lifting, not his favourite event.
So if after those events Mika finds himself in 2nd or 3rd place, he's going to have to do the stone off.
Mika's an athlete that's competed in the Amatra Strongman Showdown a number of times, and weirdly they have like this ridiculous stone run there where they go up to a 6 stone that's set at 245 kilos, which is mental. I don't believe anyone's ever finished this stone run. I mean, maybe someone's lifted it as a one-off, but I don't think anyone's ever done it in a competition. Even the 5th stone is ridiculously heavy, so he's capable of lifting big stones. He's not the quickest when it comes to stones.
Which doesn't matter so much.
It doesn't matter. The only issue is, I don't believe he's going to go in as the 2nd place. You know, I think getting to the stones will be a struggle anyway. But if he's there, his history shows he can lift big stones. It's not his best event, looking at the results in terms of where he places, certainly in higher level competitions.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the stones, we've seen it before, anything can happen.
How are we rating Mika's chances overall then? His chances of getting out of the group stages?
Well, I like how we're saying, how are we rating it? And it's always me that's giving the opinion. So I'm the bad guy.
There's a structure to these videos.
I'm the bad guy when it comes to these videos. The reality is, this is Mika's first World's Strongest Man. I think he has one good event in the heats, the Hercules hold, where I think he can score big points. I don't believe even winning that event is going to be enough to give him enough overall points to be challenging, to be in a position that he's going to do the stones. I think go there, have an absolute blast of a time, show everyone that Finland is back. I think it's the first time in 9 years we've had a Finnish athlete at World's Strongest Man. Mika has come through a hell of a lot personally. Just to be here is a huge, huge achievement for him. We're looking forward to seeing how he does. Let us know your thoughts, guys. Have you seen Mika in the Strongman Champions League? He's done a number of shows. Make sure you go follow him. Lovely guy. He even did some gravel shoveling for Auntie Liz, just to keep her happy, because she's weird like that. That's the kind of thing that's
what I want to see.
Makes her happy.
That and sausage holding.
But there you have it, guys.
Don't anyone send me those videos.
Mika Trr, best of luck at World's Strongest Man.
And don't forget, guys, we're posting 2 of these videos every day in the run up to World's Strongest Man. So make sure you've got your notifications switched on so you don't miss a single episode.